it's time to talk about the MCU Disney Plus shows ranking. Since now Secret Invasion has come to an end, and honestly, I really want to talk about this ranking. I haven't talked about all the Disney Plus series on my channel, so I just thought I'd give you guys my ranking of them. I'm not including the I Am Groot series because they're not really series, they're shorts, and so I'm just going to focus on the Disney Plus shows, and including the specials as well, so I'll be interested to talk about it. I know everyone's been up and down with the Disney Plus and Marvel Studios MCU franchise as a whole. Everyone's saying about their quality, and everyone's saying, oh, the MCU should have ended after Endgame, MCU sucks now, which is not true. I think Marvel has something else they have planned as well. So there are so many other stories, so many characters, there's so many other things in the Marvel universe has to be explored, either if you like it or not. But there's some people out there who still defend the MCU. They'll people say, oh, it wasn't that bad. It has its ups and downs like the Phase Saga. But at that end, let's just get to the ranking. And this is my personal opinion, guys. So please be civil about it. So coming in last place, for me, it's Secret Invasion. Secret Invasion is really disappointing. This could have been easily one of the better MCU Disney Plus series. This could have been up there, like WandaVision, or even Loki Season 1, or Moon Knight. You know, one of those Disney Plus series that are so good, so high quality, and it could have been really good, or it could have been their Captain America Winter Soldier vibe, or potential to be good. But this is Captain America Winter Soldier done wrong. So yeah, now look, Secret Invasion, I don't hate it. I don't despise it. I don't think it's awful. But it was just a big letdown because Secret Invasion is a great storyline in the comics and it has so much potential, so much things going for it, but it was just lacking of storytelling and so many stuff they could have done out, or maybe they could have done better in certain stuff. But that being said, there are some good stuff in here. Samuel L. Jackson is great as Nick Fury, and of course Ben Mendelsohn as Talos is great. All the cast are good. There are some fun moments to have, and there's so many great shocking values, especially killed off Maria Hill and Talos. This show does take risk, and I do respect everyone involved. They try the best to make this the best Disney Plus show, but unfortunately, due to the writing and due to everything what's going on, this is a big disappointment. I was extremely disappointed, and that's why Secret Invasion is in 11th place, the worst of the worst. Coming next on my list is SheHulk. SheHulk, Attorney at Law, is pretty much the divisive among the MC franchise since Captain Marvel. She-Hulk, I didn't mind She-Hulk. I quite liked it for what it was trying to do. I know people don't like it because the humor or it's just too goofy looking. I understand why. I can get that issues as well, but I didn't mind it. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't affect me. And I do like Jennifer Walters as a character, and I do like her She-Hulk character. And I think the CGI on her was pretty decent. It doesn't look terrible. There may be a couple of noticeable ones, but for the most part, it looks fine. It looks decent. There's some of the jokes here land, some doesn't here. Daredevil is great. I really like Charlie Cox as Matt Murdock appeared in the episode in the last two. I thought that was really a lot of fun, and I honestly can't wait for Daredevil Born Again coming out on Disney Plus. I can't wait for that. It's going to be amazing. Bruce Banner appearing in the first two episodes, and of course he did appear in the finale, which has quite surprised me that he isn't appearing as much in the show. My only issues with the show is some of the storyline they're going for is kind of up and down for me, and some of the stuff went for it is kind of questionable, especially the final episode where She-Hulk goes into Marvel Studios, and it's kind of questionable for me. And next up on my list is Marvel Studios' What If Season 1. What If is Marvel Studios' very first animated series in their franchise. Now, I really like this. I was curious about this one because What If is basically going to different films in the MCU and put a spin on it and saying what will happen if this plays differently or what one character did this differently, which I quite like that. There's so many good episodes here. There are maybe a couple episodes I quite enjoy, like the Doctor Strange episode where he loses Christine instead of his hands, or Zombies episode, which is probably the best episode of them all, and the What If the World Lost its Earth's Mightiest Heroes. There's so many good things in there, and the Captain Carter episode is really good. There's so many fun things about this show, and Jeffrey Wright as the voice of the Watcher is really good. I cannot wait to hear more of him in season 2. If he does appear in the live-action MCU franchise going forward, I'll be happy for that. And some of the rest of the cast are good. Some of the voice acting is a little bit off at times. Maybe it's just they thought, oh, that thing was good, take that in. Some of the animation here is fine. It's got that Spider-Verse-like, but I think it could have done a little bit better. It does look a bit wobbly at areas for the most part, but I think it's fine. I think it's a pretty decent show. I can't wait for season 2. Next on my list is The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. This show is really, really good. This is the second show in the Disney Plus series since during the pandemic. I think it's really good. It's definitely not perfect. It's definitely not Captain America amazing like the sequels were, but this one's actually quite good. I think this has some good stuff going for. I know a lot of people complain it's too political, but the thing is, guys, Marvel has always been political from the start, especially back in the Stan Lee, Jack Kirby, or Steve Ditko days, back in those comic storylines. But I think it's a good thing to touch on the subject about racism and a lot of things about political stuff in this here. And I really like the art for Anthony Mackie's Falcon and Bucky Barnes' Winter Soldier storyline. There's so many things in there that could have been great. The villain side, though, is kind of weak. I think the villains could have been rewritten, especially Carly, because there are some good stuff in there, but I just think the execution of her storyline could have done a little bit better. Sharon Carter as the power broker, which quite surprisingly, which is kind of trying to get into the super soldier serum or trying to get it for her own. And Zemo is in this stuff here, which is I really liked. I thought he has a fun moment, especially at the bar where he's dancing. And John Walker, played by Kurt Russell's son, Wyatt Russell, that was really good. I really liked him, and honestly, I'm looking forward to his return in Marvel Studios Thunderbolts next year, which I cannot wait for. Hope that's good. Coming up next on my list is The Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. This is the second Disney Plus Marvel Studios presentation or special or short film. I really liked this short film of the Guardians. This is set in Christmas time where Mantis and Drax try to find a Christmas present for Peter since he's going through the moments and since he lost Gamora in Infinity War, and he's trying to cope with it. And I thought this is a really good idea going forward, having Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, but done right, unlike the Star Wars Holiday Special, if you know what I mean. But no, this is a really fun short. James Gunn put some style to it, and he definitely captures the spirit and the characters, and the humour here is still as funny and still likeable. Kevin Bacon is making an appearance in this short film, which is really good. Of course, Mantis finds out that she is Peter's half brother because she is Ego's father, which is quite nice. I'm quite shocked by that. And up next on my list is WandaVision. WandaVision, I personally think this is a really great start of the MCU Phase 4. I think this is a really great start. This is a really fun, enjoyable, very entertaining, and it definitely has some heart to it. This is basically Wanda and Vision in this alternate or visionary dream reality of them in this TV sitcom with all these TV montages of Dick Van Dyke or Malcolm in the Middle or Two and a Half Men, all these comedies, and The Office as well. That's another one. There's so many comedies to put into that. It was really smartly written, and because it's just a sword, and I really like that. This is quite interesting and interesting new characters like Athena Harkness, played by Catherine Hahn, is such a great addition. And Monica Rambeau from Captain Marvel as a young child now grown up, which is quite a nice addition. There's so many things in there to enjoy and love about WandaVision. Next on my list, it is Miss Marvel. Miss Marvel is such a really fun. I think it's very underrated as well because the ratings for this show has been dropped because due to the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. And honestly, I really like Miss Marvel. I think it's really good. I think it's such a nice change of pace and it's a really great coming-of-age story. And Kamala Khan is such a likable, very charming, very funny, but yet very passionate character who wants to look up to our hero Captain Marvel, which I'm excited for the Marvels later this year. But honestly, Kamala Khan is such a fun character. And Milan Filani, I think that's the actress' name, really captured the spirit. And she is a fan in real life, and she's a big MCU fan as well, which, and Filani, if you're watching this, we can be besties. Say hi, and also subscribe to my channel if you can, because we can be besties about it. Anyway, but that being said, this is a really fun show. I really like the characters here. Kamala Khan's family is really great. Bruno is such a fun side character, and being his little sidekick towards her. But and also, so many things about this. It's just so fun to watch. Next on my list is Hawkeye. Hawkeye is the second MCU set in Christmas time. This is a really fun Christmas series. There's so many things about it. It's just so much fun. Jamie Renner has turned as Clint Barton and give him a chance to more to do because give him an arc after Endgame. Him trying to spend time with his family, but he has to deal with other things going around him, especially with his PTSD as Ronin. And of course, the introduction of Kate Bishop, played by Haley Steinfeld, who is my celebrity crush. Anywho, yeah, she's really great. I really like Kate Bishop, and she's just a lot of fun to watch. And of course, you got Yelena, played by Florence Pugh, is returning, and of course, her setup, her character at the end of Black Widow in the post-credits scene, going after Clint after what he believed he did, who killed Natasha, her sister. Of course, Echo's in the show, who is deaf, played by Aqua Cox, I believe that's the actress' name. Trap Mafia suits guys, who says bro. And of course, save not least, Wilson Fisk, played by Vincent D'Onofrio from the Netflix Daredevil series, is such a great return, just like Daredevil in Spider-Man No Way Home. It's just like a blessing for me, to be honest, as a fan. So at number 3 is Marvel Studios' Werewolf by Night. This is Marvel's very first type of horror genre in the MCU. I really like Werewolf by Night. This is probably my favourite in the Disney Plus Marvel special presentation. I think this is a really creative, very spooky, but yet has that darker tone to it, but it still has some MCU formulaic stuff in there that you'll catch most of the time. This is very creative. This is directed by Michael Cino, who is the score for the Spider-Man theme for the Homecoming trilogy, and of course the Doctor Strange theme. And he did a few other stuff, but this is actually quite good. I really like this. I think this is a really great atmosphere to it. I really like the black and white ratio to it. The costume design on the werewolf is fantastic to look at. It looks practically real. It's not CGI'd. And of course, this big giant green monster man thing called Ted, which is a bit of a name. He's definitely has some humor to it. There's so many things about it is really great, and some of the kill counts in there is quite brutal and quite terrifying to look at. But Werewolf by Night is just a damn near masterpiece. In second place, Loki Season 1. This is supposed to be my favourite MCU show, but we'll get to number one, what number one is. This is such a really mind-blowing series. It took some chances to the show, and also seeing the 2012 Loki and Avengers Endgame, where he went and ended up being in the TVA along with Agent Mobius, played by Owen Wilson, which is a great addition to the MCU. And of course, there's trying to find this another variant of Loki, played by this actress there. I couldn't recall who plays Sylvie, who is a female Loki, or Lady Loki is supposed to be. Also enter different timelines and enter different alternate realities of worlds. But it's not till the very last episode where we meet Jonathan Majors as Kang the Conqueror, or as he first known as He Who Remains, who is behind the TVA. And of course, the way they ended this show is basically open up the multiverse, which we all know by the end of the season, we all know Marvel is going to the multiverse storyline, which we all knew that is going to happen. That's the storyline they're going in. And I honestly appreciate them. I can't wait for season 2. And my favorite Disney Plus Marvel Studios show is Moon Knight. Moon Knight is probably the biggest one I've really enjoyed. I know that's not a popular opinion. Some people say it's overrated. Some people say it doesn't like it. It should be the movie. But I really liked it. I'm one of those guys quite loved Moon Knight. I think it's fantastic. Oscar Isaac is great here. I played all these different personalities, and also him seeing in costume in such a badass way. I'm honestly excited to see where they take Moon Knight, and I'm honestly, what they want to do with him, I like to see more of the character. And if there's a season 2 on Moon Knight, I would not complain. Or if they're going to bring Moon Knight into the big screen, like whatever projects, if it's Avengers Kang Dynasty or Secret Wars, what they want to do with it, just give me more Moon Knight. And that is my list, guys, and it's over to you. What's your ranking of the MCU Disney Plus series? What's your least favourite and what's your top favourite? I want to know. And also, guys, be civil in the comments and please be respectful to others. Also, respect my list. If you disagree with me, that's fine, but please be civil about it, because if I don't want another toxic behaviour while we're going through, because I want to keep the MCU fun to talk about, because this is the thing I want to talk about. Just like Star Wars, I just wanted to have a fun conversation about it. Just have a fun conversation, but whatever the case is, guys, comment down below, tell me your ranking. And of course, guys, stay tuned for more movie reviews coming up. And until next time, guys, like, comment, subscribe. See ya!